Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 37 where we're going to talk about common problems with negative forms. What do I mean by common? These are the problems that I most commonly encounter in my job as a proofreader or as a copy editor. By far and away, I'm going to show you 3 mistakes that I see on a regular basis. Now, none of these mistakes are going to touch upon double negatives. I've done 2 other lessons on double negatives, what they are and how you accidentally might create them. If you want to find out about double negatives, you'll find them in the links below this video. So if you want to find out what these common problems are, then hang around. So as I said in my introduction, these are the 3 most common problems with negatives that I see in my job as a proofreader or when I'm copy editing. I want you to know that this isn't just a problem for non-native speakers of English. From time to time, I see that native speakers of English, native writers of English, make these mistakes as well. So I don't want you to think that this is just a problem for people who don't speak English as their mother tongue. With that being said, what are the 3 problems? Well, let's go through them one by one. The first one is about negative forms and automatically thinking that because I use a negative form, I can use nor. This is not always the case. Have a look at the first example here. We will not submit the document. So here we've got a future negative form, and then we've got nor. So people might think I'm using a negative, I can use nor. Not the case. So we will not submit the document nor supporting materials by the deadline is a mistake. How do we fix it? We change the nor to an or. So we will not submit the document or supporting materials by the deadline. Now there is a way to fix this sentence and keep nor, but I'll show you an example of that at the end of this video, so hang around to see that. The second mistake is where you create a list with a negative introductory statement and you use and in that list. So have a look at the second example here. You may not, so there we've got our negative structure introducing the list. You may not enter, participate, and comment. This is a mistake, this use of and. What should it be? It should be or. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say something like, okay, I want to say and because I want to include all of those things, because that's what and means in my mother tongue. My response to that would be, English follows different rules to other languages. So, and not only that, and has a much more flexible meaning, as does or, in English than it does in other languages. And I'll take as an example Polish. In Polish, and has a very specific meaning based on logic, as does or. English, as the courts have shown many times, say that and can mean or can mean and. Basically speaking, we cannot rely on that same approach to logic when we consider the English use of and or. And certainly when we're using negative lists, as we are here, this use of or actually means the same as and. That is to say, it includes all of those 3 things that you may not do. And then the last one is any, which is used in negative structures, and that people think that any is a negative form in itself. Now, this is a classic issue for Polish natives because any in English is very close to ani in Polish, where ani is a negative form. So I understand that mistake. So this is just something to watch out for. So if you have a look at this third example, we have any chances of winning the court case. This in English is incorrect. It should be, we do not have any chances of winning the court case, or we have no chances of winning the court case. So there's a couple of ways that we can fix that. Okay, so here are the teaching tips. If I've gone through this too quickly, don't worry, Google is your friend. Type in problems with negatives. You're going to find lots of information out there, or have a look at a good old-fashioned English grammar book. Incorrect use of negatives does happen, mostly based on bad habits, okay? And this is why I created this video, to hopefully get you to analyze your writing, see if you make those mistakes in your writing, and then change those bad habits into better habits. Don't assume, as I said earlier on, particularly with Poles, and I don't mean to pick on Polish people or Poles, it's just that I'm based in Poland and these are the mistakes that I see most often. And because I work with the writings of Polish people most often, if I was in Germany or France or Spain or anywhere else in the world, I'm sure that my lessons and my comments would reflect the errors that are made in those countries. But in short, English has rules, your mother tongue has rules. Make sure that you follow the rules of the grammar that in which you are writing, if that makes sense to you. So if you're writing in English, follow English grammar rules. If you're writing in any other language, follow the grammar rules for that language. Remember how easy it is to form double negatives. I won't go into that in much detail here. Please check out the 2 lessons that I've done on this. And when reviewing, because of course you should always review your writing, pay attention to negatives and get into the habit of identifying mistakes. The more you practice reviewing, the more you practice identifying potential errors, the better you will get at it. Okay, time for questions. What I would like you to do is read the sentences below. Now, if you support me on Patreon, you'll be able to click on the link and download those questions and get access to my answer videos. If you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn or Facebook, please think about supporting me on Patreon, where you're going to get access to lots and lots of great materials about how to improve your writing skills. Anyway, back to the questions. I'd like you to read the sentences below. Each sentence has an error based on one of the 3 issues I've talked about, and simply redraft each sentence to cure the problem. And here is where I'm going to show you how to use nor correctly. So the example is, we will not submit the document nor supporting materials by the deadline. Here we've got the mistake. And as you can see, there are 2 ways to fix this. And let me just shrink myself down into the corner a little bit just so you can see over my shoulder. So we will not submit the document or supporting materials, or we will not submit the document nor, and here we need to introduce a verb phrase, nor prepare the supporting materials by the deadline. So 2 ways to fix that problem. So good luck with those questions. Once you finish them, please check out my answer video to see if your questions are similar to mine.